wanted to take a second and show you guys what we do when we're laying stone and some of the aesthetics and some of what is the structure that makes the wall last. And we are doing a dry stack field stone. So this is what we would call like a thick rock. This is 3 to 5 inch thick. And our wall finishes at around 6 inches thick. This would be a stone that we would turn on its face to see the beauty of the stone. And then you have thinner stones that are good for dry stack. So we would find the sides of the rock that look the prettiest and use varying thicknesses to pair them well and fit together. So before we even start laying any stone, we get the foundation exposed so that stone is completely resting on a solid foundation. So we'll start with mortar and stone and then start at about 5 inches above that is where you'll see the stone. So we slope the dirt and elevations away from the house. If you start on foundation, then it won't allow the stone to crack years to come. When we lay our stone, we're going to start with a bed of mortar, and then as we build the wall, we point the whole entire backside. We're not going to leave a void. We're going to fill it solid with mortar as we build the wall. Over years to come, if ever water gets behind there, it's not given the opportunity to freeze, expand, and try to pop any stone loose. So we like a completely filled wall that's solid. We will use an expansion material first against the wood so that our stone will not become sandwiched in between the wood in a way that when the wood swells with moisture, we don't want it to bust our stone loose. So here we are on a finished wall. This is the side of a fireplace. So as you can see, the way that the stones turn on their side pair well with varying thicknesses of other rocks, thin and medium stones. So the dry stack look is one that from a distance you won't really notice that there's any mortar, but if you get close you can see that mortar is just tucked in approximately 2 inches from the face of the stone so that it just gives it an old world look. As you can see, this fireplace is almost 50 foot in height. It's 11 feet wide and it's tapered as it goes up so that it's 7 feet wide at the top. Where the roof line ties in, there's copper flashing. That is not just a counter flashing cut into the face of the stone. We actually did that prior to laying the rock, and we stepped our block in stone so that we could make a copper curb to match the profile of the blockwork. So that flashing is actually 8 inches thick behind the stone and turned up against a waterproof block wall. And this is capping off the top of the garage wall. So what we've done is we've run a string line that gives us about 1 inch out past the wall, and it lets us have a reference to make the very top of the stone in a straight line with adequate fall so that water that runs down the wall hits the stone and kicks it out away from the wall. This particular stone, the owners found it on their property and asked if we could lay it in the wall. We have fun helping take a piece, whether it's a timber from a tree on the land and make it part of a frame, or a stone. It's fun to take something from your land and make it part of your house. This is just a large piece of stone that I had here thinking we may use it as a hearthstone, but we decided to go ahead and incorporate it into the wall. And back in the day when guys were laying rock, a lot of times they would start with massive boulders and then pare them down as the wall or column got higher. I just like the symmetry that it gives the look of the house, having a massive stone in here looking like it's part of the foundation. This stonework has been washed and prepared to be the finished product. We have a hand-hewn mantle, and this is several hundred years old, of a piece of white oak. And then we have hearthstones that we had fun being creative in the way that we used that, and that was one stone that we cut at an angle so that we could make them look like bookends on each end of the hearth, and then cut stones to fill in the middle that fit nicely against those. So thank you for joining us today. I look forward to many times to come to explain more about what we do here at Page Timber Works, and bless you all.